Hello, everybody. My name's Rick McCutcheon, and on this Partner Talks, I have Pam Velentzas from Experlogix. Pam, tell us who you are and what you do over there at Experlogix.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Rick. So my name is Pamela Velentzas. I head up the global marketing team at Xpertdoc and been with the company collectively for about 7 years now. And I came through with the Xpertdoc acquisition that took place back in December of 2020.
Okay, great. So Experlogix is a very well-known name in our dynamics world and probably one of the most successful ISVs. But there's been some changes, and you talk a little bit about, you came over with Xpertdoc. Let's talk about what's going on with, we'll call it the branding around the two products.
Yeah, absolutely. So just so your audience has some, I guess, context or background in terms of what's been going on at Xpertdoc the last couple of years, because there have been significant changes. So we historically, or legacy Xpertdoc was focused on the CPQ configure price quote space, mainly for dynamics, but other integrations as well. Back in 2020, March 2020, we acquired a company or a quasi-competitor named Econ, which is based out of the Netherlands. They also did a CPQ. So they came over and joined the Experlogix family back in March. And then about 6 months later, we acquired Xpertdoc based out of Montreal, Canada, who does document automation primarily out of Dynamics. Xpertdoc was a longtime partner of Experlogix even prior to the acquisition and worked on numerous joint customers. And, it just totally made sense in terms of synergy and technology alignment that we were to join them as I guess, the Q in CPQ, but also a standalone document automation product. So about 2 years later, 2022, we finally have rolled Xpertdoc under the Experlogix brand. And now we are going to market as Experlogix CPQ, including Econ and Experlogix document automation.
Okay, great. And, I remember when I organized the user groups for Microsoft Canada, we had Experlogix and Xpertdoc present together. This is probably 5 or 6 years ago. It was one of the best presentations we had. So, you could kind of see those two companies coming together with their technology. So a couple of questions for you. So Experlogix has always been CPQ. Xpertdoc has been document management, but you can purchase those separately, correct?
Absolutely. So that's why, it was an interesting merger, I would say, only because we can definitely enhance the queue on the standard CPQ solution, right? So if a customer, is looking for a specific need in an output format for a document or a quote process, Xpertdoc historically would come in and help kind of ramp up or boost up the queue, right? The quote part with our document automation. And similarly, we have customers who don't need a CPQ, for example, who let's say are outside of manufacturing and do not sell complex products and just want to streamline and optimize their document processes. So we can kind of cater to them as well as Experlogix now, just with document automation.
Okay, great. So, I saw you down in Florida at DCI Summit. We had a chat down there. So, we're getting out of show season for the first time in a while, 2022. We had Dynamics Con Live and we had DCI Summit. What did you see at the user conferences, and what do you think's going to happen next year, getting together with everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. So funny enough, we attended Summit as well back in 2021. So right kind of during the Omicron pandemic. Mm-hmm. We thought let's go see what it is. It was like the first show that kind of came back in person throughout COVID. So we went to, I believe it was in Houston. It was a good show. But turnout was so slow. I think it was like slow getting out of the gate. And then what are we expecting for 2022, right? But Summit is our main show of the year for both, even just Xpertdoc and Experlogix together, number one. So we were really excited to see what the turnout would be, and we were blown away. Honestly, it was probably one of the best Summit shows for us since pre-COVID that we went to. And, we were there the first time as one brand, one company, two solutions. The traffic was unbelievable. We had great conversations with existing customers who we hadn't seen face-to-face in almost 3 years. We had great conversations with new prospects who are maybe looking to either expand upon their Dynamics instance, like through document automation or CPQ, or are looking to migrate off an existing CRM into a new Dynamics ERP or CRM solution. So really good conversations. And we just found that the level of engagement was fantastic. Like, I think everybody was so desperate for that connection, that personal connection that, conversations were probably better than they've ever been around that show.
And so, I talked to a lot of customers that, at both shows, and it seems that during the pandemic, they had to get everything kind of fixed, right? And a lot of projects that were going to be net new, they held off on. So I was in a couple ISV booths, and, customers would come in and say, "Oh, I'm glad you're here. I saw you 3 years ago at the last show. Now we're ready to move." So I think, for the ISV community, we're going to have a very strong 2023.
Oh, I absolutely echo that as well. It's funny. So we had a lot of customers just during the pandemic that, it kind of went either two ways. Either it slowed it down a little bit, but for the most part, it really, I guess COVID really showcased the need for that digital transformation, and it accelerated projects for some of us, right? That need to go digital quicker, faster, optimize your coding process, optimize your documents during the pandemic, given that everything was virtual. But so that it was like that was part of it. But I think as well, too, I think the appetite for re-engagement from a customer and partner perspective is there. Absolutely.
Okay, Pam, what do you think we're going to see for 2023 from Experlogix?
So we have a lot coming, both on the corporate side, on the company side, on the technology side. So Experlogix, back 2 years ago, we were about 70 employees globally. We're up to about 250 now in Belgium and the Netherlands. We are growing exponentially. We are investing in technology to make it better, stronger, faster. We have a release coming out for CPQ that ties into BC now, and F&O. Similarly, on the document automation side, we are opening up the ERP space now that we have a native integration to F&O, where before, I guess previous, it was only really through Dynamic CE or CRM, right? So now we can leverage the ERP network of partners and ISV of customers to really expand into different kind of sub verticals within the whole Dynamics ecosystem.
And I think that's great, because we're seeing, especially the BC market right now is growing at an incredible pace. So, having a CPQ and available for them, I think is important. So Pam, thanks for your time today. And we'll be back to talk to you in the near future about what's going on at Experlogix.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Rick.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.